Imagine this. You wake up with a migraine, and your local healer starts drilling a hole in your skull to release demons. Or you're feeling feverish and the royal physician insists on tasting your urine to check what's wrong. This isn't fantasy. This is how medicine actually worked for centuries. Ancient doctors weren't just clueless, they were confident. Confident enough to bleed you dry, force-feed you lizard powder, or use literal poop as medicine. Today, we're diving into 8 terrifying, bizarre, and sometimes hilarious medical practices from history. They might sound insane, but the scariest part? Some of them still exist, just rebranded with a modern twist. And wait till you hear number 7, it'll change the way you think about health myths we still believe today. Hammer and Pick Segment 1, Brain Surgery, with Rocks. Let's begin with one of the oldest known surgeries, trepanation, drilling a hole in the skull. No anesthesia. No sterilization. Just stone tools and courage. The reason? People believed headaches, seizures, and madness were caused by evil spirits trapped inside the brain. The solution? Let them out. Literally. Skulls from prehistoric times found in Peru, France, and Africa show healed holes, meaning some people survived this brutal practice. But let's be honest, it was a coin toss. Either the spirits left, or you did. Ironically, trepanation never fully died out. Even in the 20th century, a few rogue scientists promoted it for mental clarity. Spoiler, it didn't work. Beverage Box Segment 2, The Pee Protocol. Medieval Europe, you fall sick. No X-rays. No blood tests. So the doctor examines your urine. Not under a microscope, just color, smell, taste. Yes, some doctors tasted it. They used urine wheels, colorful charts matching symptoms to pee shades. Bright yellow? You're healthy. Cloudy brown with bubbles? You're cursed. They even diagnosed patients by mail, just send in a flask of your pee. It sounds ridiculous now. But urine testing was a cornerstone of medical diagnosis for over 1,000 years. And honestly? We're still doing urine tests today, just with less sniffing. Snake Segment 3, Snake Oil and the Business of Belief. Today, snake oil means scam. But in ancient China, real snake oil, made from water snakes, had some benefits. It contained omega-3 oils that helped reduce joint pain. But by the 19th century in America, the term was hijacked. Fake doctors sold bottles of mystery potions at traveling medicine shows. Guaranteed to cure baldness, heartbreak, and maybe even death. The tradition still lives on. You'll find modern snake oil in the form of miracle detox kits, gut reset powders, or trendy biohacks with zero science. Different bottle. Same scam. Syringe Segment 4, Bloodletting, the one-size-fits-all cure. Ancient Greek medicine believed in the 4 humors: blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. Any illness? It meant your humors were out of balance. The cure? Bloodletting. They used sharp knives, lancets, or even leeches to drain you. Cold? Bleed. Fever? Bleed. Toothache? Bleed some more. Patients got so weak, some died from the treatment, not the illness. Even George Washington, the first U.S. president, was bled with over 3 pints of blood in 24 hours. He died. Historians believe the bleeding killed him faster than the infection. But here's the kicker, leeches are still used today. Not for balance, but in modern surgery, to help with blood circulation. A weird full circle moment, right? Brain Segment 5, Mental illness equals demonic possession. For centuries, if you had a seizure, depression, or schizophrenia, you weren't sick. You were possessed. Priests were called. Exorcisms were performed. And in many cases, people were beaten, chained, or isolated. In medieval Europe, some hospitals had cells where the mentally ill were displayed for public entertainment. That's right, mental illness was a spectator event. Even today, the stigma continues. We don't blame demons, but mental health is still misunderstood, underdiagnosed, and mistreated in many parts of the world. Dia-lamp Segment 6, Magic Herbs for Childbirth. Ancient Egyptians believed childbirth was a spiritual battle. Midwives burned incense, chanted prayers to Hathor, and used amulets to protect the mother. They also used herbs like fenugreek and cumin, some of which genuinely helped. But alongside? Crocodile dung vaginal suppositories. Yes, you heard that right. Meanwhile, ancient Greeks gave women opium and wine to dull the pain. Helpful? Maybe. Risky? Absolutely. It's proof that even in childbirth medicine was trial and terror. Woman Segment 7, The Wandering Womb. This one's outrageous. Greek doctors like Hippocrates believed the uterus could literally move around the body. Feeling sad? Wandering womb. Shortness of breath? Wandering womb. Hysteria? Wandering womb. The solution? Sweet-smelling herbs near the pelvis to lure it back. And foul odors near the nose to push it down. This idea dominated women's health for over 1,000 years. The term hysteria comes from the Greek word for womb, hystera. It's only in the last 100 years that women's health started being studied with real science. But the echoes of this myth still show up in how female pain is dismissed today. Pile of poo Segment 8, Feces as Medicine. In ancient Egypt and early Chinese medicine, animal and human feces were used as treatments. Mixed into balms, applied to wounds, and sometimes even swallowed. Gross? Definitely. But surprisingly, modern medicine has circled back. Today, fecal transplants are a real, life-saving treatment for gut infections like C. difficile. So yeah. History might have stunk, but sometimes, it wasn't totally wrong. Ancient doctors did their best.